Hey YouTube, it's me. I'm back to do a quick little reveal video of some deals I found, and I also want to make a little video regarding something I've been thinking about doing a video for a little while, so we'll see how that goes. I had a pretty good weekend until Saturday night when I came down with a stomach virus, so I am still kind of battling with that. My stomach seems to be better, but you know how after you have a tummy bug, you just feel completely and totally drained. That's how I'm feeling right now. I just feel like crap. So I'm going to do a video kind of quick, and then I have a little bit of some, chores to do because I got absolutely nothing done yesterday. I was completely a bump on the log, like dead to the world. And I didn't get anything done, so I have to make up for that. So Saturday, before I got sick, because I started to feel sick around 1:30 in the morning, Saturday into Sunday. So Saturday night, I went to my favorite store in Cherry Hill, which is Nordstrom Rack. And they did have a lot of really good deals on stuff, but no clothes or shoes that I bought because the things that I liked, even though they were a good deal, were still just too expensive at this moment. But my husband did pick up a nice pair of Man Ugg little slippers. So I was excited for him. I bought him a pair for Christmas about maybe 5 or 6 years ago now. And they are in a chestnut color, so they're very, very light. And these are, I should have grabbed them. These are mostly dark gray wool with like some suede trims, which is kind of better for him for what he likes to wear them for, which would be like around the house or hopping out to a store or something in the wintertime. So I was happy he was able to get something kind of fancy because he never treats himself to that kind of stuff. But they did have some really fun stuff in the makeup section, so I will show you the first thing well, actually, it's the last thing I bought when I was there because it was a total impulse buy. It was right there, right next to the checkout. I don't have too much by NYX, but I saw this, and it was on clearance, I think, for $4. And just the name of it intrigued me. It's called Intense Butter Gloss. Drench your lips in extreme color with our signature buttery smooth gloss. Okay. So it is what I have on. It's called Chocolate Apple, and I was honestly thinking it was going to be more chocolate than apple, but it's fairly red. So when I obviously didn't do anything yesterday, so I didn't put it on yesterday, but when I put it on this morning before work, I was like, oh, okay. Can I get away with this? And I wasn't sure. I was kind of going back and forth whether or not I was just going to like wipe it off. But then my son came in to use the bathroom, and he's like, Mommy, I like your face. And I said, oh, what do you mean? He's like, I like your lips. It's a pretty color. So if an almost 6-year-old likes it and he doesn't go, what is that? I think that's pretty good. And I did get some compliments today from the other teachers and the other parents. So I guess I will keep using it. So it is, and when they say intense butter, it's very buttery. I love it because it's buttery without being sticky. A lot of times a gloss, you'll feel like your hair is getting stuck in it and your lips are sticking together. No, butter is definitely an accurate description of this. And just a regular old applicator. I really like this. If I see another color that maybe is a little more neutral, I'm going to want to pick it up. But NYX Intense Butter Gloss, $4. Now the next thing, when I saw it, I immediately grabbed it and snatched it up. And it was one of 3 in the store. And when I show it to you, you'll understand why. They were all kind of, you could tell that they had been sampled a little bit or maybe mishandled. But for the price that it was, it's something I had been looking at when it came out. I had to buy it. They had at mine the Naked Smoky palette. I do have a Naked 2 Basics, which is a small one that I really, really like. The colors are really great, but I am a shimmer girl. So generally, when I use the Naked Basics, I will throw a more shimmery powder over top because I prefer that. So I grabbed this. It was $24.97 from $54. $30 off. I have a hard time paying a $54. I won't. But a $24, I will. So the pad side packaging was pretty good. It's all still there. And it also comes with their little tutorial, different looks, which I didn't try when I used it this morning, but maybe I will tomorrow. This morning I was just like trying to get out of the door. I was feeling really bad still. I love that they do that because for simpletons like myself, it's helpful. Okay. So, like I said, there were 3 in the store. This was the least messed up and least I could tell, like, touched of the other ones. And, so what I did, and I'll show you in a sec. Take the brush. Okay. So, well, the mirror over here. Here it is. And you can see with this one and this one, there was cracking at the top. So, sorry. I did the trick that I've seen on YouTube several times where you pour rubbing alcohol in it. Not pour, I'm sorry. You put a few drops of rubbing alcohol into the eyeshadow when you've broken an eyeshadow, or I guess any sort of powder. And you let it dry, and it will actually make it form back together. I had done this with a Smashbox eyeshadow that I had dropped and smashed, and sure enough, it worked. So I was comfortable doing it again. I'm going to take this and put it over the mirror. So I did that with the 2 that you can see are a little bit wonky looking. They were just cracked. And there was a few others I could tell that maybe somebody touched to test the color, so I poured a little bit of rubbing alcohol over that too, just to kind of sterilize it. And before I use it, I'm going to wipe it. There it is. I actually used the 2 colors that I fixed today because they are up my alley as far as shimmer and the color goes. They are high in radar. So I am super psyched to be trying these this week. It's just in time for fall when the smoky eye is in. So I'm super excited about it. Definitely check out yours. I do love the brush. I see myself using this for other shadows. Do check it out if you are near one. And as I was grabbing this, I was in line when I saw it because my Nordstrom rack is right next to where the makeup area is at this moment. They just recently moved it. And as I was looking at it, there was a woman who was like, I didn't know that they sold Urban Decay here. And I said, oh yes, they sell all the good stuff here. I've gotten Urban Decay, I've gotten Too Faced, I've gotten Stila, all the good brands. They had a lot of MAC there. I would have bought a MAC lipstick if I hadn't bought this. But the MAC lipstick was still like $10. So I passed this time. But always check your Nordstrom rack. Okay. So I want this to not be a super, super long video. But it's something I've been thinking about on this topic, talking about for a while. I think I mentioned it in one of my very first videos. But I recently joined this group on Facebook that, you know, I've kind of been seeing the way other people approach this thing. So it's got me thinking, you know, what are my secrets? What are the things that I like about this and how do I use this? And I talk about it pretty much in almost every single video, and that is Poshmark. And if you don't know, Poshmark is an app and a website where you can sell used items. It is an auctioning site, sort of. So you set up a virtual closet where you take pictures and give a description of your items, and they will sit there until they are purchased. I did eBay for a long time, and the thing that is the most annoying about eBay, so you set your price or whatever, and it doesn't sell, then you have to relist it. You have to pay again. Poshmark is completely free. There is no charge, except for when you sell something, they do take a flat rate of 20%. But you don't have to pay every time you want to list something, which I find to be incredibly annoying with eBay, especially when you know, you got burned by a buyer. And yeah, you get reimbursed by PayPal, but it takes time and it's just annoying. And I find that in selling on Poshmark, there's less sort of drama when it comes to that, but I will get into that later. So here are my stats. My username is @SailorMoon, SAALORMUN. And I have been a member since 2011. When I first got Poshmark, it was something that was, I think, getting a lot of advertisement on a game I was playing at the time, like one of the Words with Friends or something like that I was playing. So eventually I did click on it because I was selling at eBay, kind of here and there. So I downloaded it. I put a couple things in my closet, and I just kind of forgot about it. And like months later, I made sales after I had deleted the app. And I didn't know that my closet was still available. So I didn't know that I sold stuff, and I just didn't send it, to be honest. I was like, oh, I'm not even on that app. I don't care. You know, I ignored the emails. And eventually I did get back on, and I really did try to figure out the site. There was a lot of features of the site that I didn't understand of the app. So I actually went through and took some time with it and started making sales. So as you can probably tell by a lot of my videos, I buy and sell things a lot. I get enjoyment out of buying and selling things. You know, sometimes you buy something and it doesn't work for you the way that you thought it would. So, of course the option is always there to give it away. But for me, it just makes more sense to sell because then I can put that money towards something else, something new. And right now it is really, really hot in the resale market. Facebook groups have their own stuff going on. And of course there's been Craigslist around forever. But for me personally, I feel like Poshmark is really safe, really cool atmosphere to sell your stuff. I have 4,000 followers right now, which is a pretty decent amount. I'm probably not as active on there as a lot of other users. Something I'll talk a little bit more about is in being in this Facebook group, I kind of see how much more involved and dedicated people are to the site that I'm just not, because at this juncture in my life, I don't really have that much time. I'm either at work or I'm with my kids or I am doing stuff around the house or I'm asleep. Like, I just don't have the time and the effort to put into it as other users do. So I probably could have more followers and more of a following, but I don't put myself out there as much as other users do. It takes me on average of 2.5 days to ship. That is a big thing on Poshmark. They really want you to ship in under 3 days. As a seller, you have up to 7 days to sell, but really they kind of frown upon that. So I was having an easier time with shipping like 2 years ago because of my work schedule. My work schedule has since changed. I go to work later. It's still too early. The post office is not open before I go to work. And by the time I come home, especially now that I have to pick up my older son from a different place, I just can't get to the post office. For a while there, I was using, it shipped via USPS, so I was doing their pick it up from my house option, and I was having issues with it. I was having issues where they email you to tell you that they've picked up your package, so I would get the package email saying, oh, we picked up your package, and I get home, and guess what? It's still sitting there. So it's it's after 5 o'clock, and I can't ship this thing because you said that you picked it up and you didn't. It happened to me more than one occasion, probably 4 or 5 times. And then at least twice I had gotten a notification of a dog, like some sort of dog interception. Like there was a dog keeping them from picking up my package, which makes no sense whatsoever because when my dog was alive, he's very old. The most he's going to do is bark at you through the window. But when my husband and I aren't home, he's locked up and secured in the house. and the area where they were going to drop off the package was the dog couldn't get to. So it was kind of like a real BS reason to me why they didn't pick up my package. So I stopped doing that. My husband, I will ask him to do it for me on occasion. Sometimes he forgets about it, or sometimes even though he had intended on doing it, maybe he gets called into work early or something happens where he doesn't have the time. So I typically I myself will ship something on a Saturday morning. When my husband is off on Thursday, if I really, really beg him, he will ship it for me. So I don't get my stuff out as quickly as I would personally like. Some people believe in shipping next day or same day. Again, I don't have time for that. Not as a criticism for other people, but I just personally don't have the time. I have a 4.9 out of 5 rating, which is pretty good. Their rating system goes by stars, and I've gotten pretty good reviews. I have a few people that haven't been satisfied, and there were a couple situations, again, I am a busy person. I've made mistakes with stuff before, either in my listing, or there was one time I was shipping like 4 things and 2 of the labels got mixed up. So that was a whole thing. So I don't have a perfect rating, but I have a really good rating. I do try. And I'm a top 10% seller, which means I have sold more than 90% of everyone else on Poshmark since 2011. Which is pretty cool. A lot of people that I am seeing on this group is they are thrifting, which I think is so cool. And it is something, excuse me, that I am interested in trying, again, if I get some time. So they go to their local thrift stores and they go through all of the racks and they pick out, some good brands. And a lot of them are able to make good money off of it. So kudos to them. And it's something I'm interested in doing. I've been telling my husband for ages that I would love to open up like a consignment or like a higher end thrift store. And we're driving about a mile, not even a mile, 3/4 of a mile, half a mile away from my house. And it's literally called Upscale Thrift Shop. At first I was a little mad because I was like, that's my idea. I wanted to do that. And then I'm like, I can't wait to check this place out. So it is something I'm interested in doing, maybe if and when I find the time. I have a bunch of thrift stores around me, but honestly, granted, maybe I'm going about it wrong. It seems like the ladies in use group must go through everything. I usually, if I'm going to a Goodwill store, I'm looking at my own size. Maybe that's my problem. I have to look at everything. But people have found really good deals. So a lot of people, it's either like their second job or it might be their main source of income. A very like nasty gal, girl boss type existence, which is pretty cool. And it would be something that I would like to do again if I had more time, which I don't, unfortunately. But maybe as my kids get a little bigger, maybe something I'd like to try. But the stuff I have in my closet is like 90% stuff that is mine, that I've bought, that I've worn, that doesn't fit me anymore, or I'm just not into it anymore, or maybe I do like it, but I have a lot of crap. So sometimes even though I really like something, maybe I have something similar that I just favor and I gravitate towards. So if I have something that's still great, why not sell it? Me personally, all of my stuff is gently used. I have OCD about my clothes and about my shoes and purses, which is mostly what I'm selling on there. I hate when there's stains. I hate when there's marks. And I generally avoid it on my clothes and items as best as I can. I think one of the key things to Poshmark and being successful is knowing what your item is worth. Not only, okay, I know what you paid for it. Okay, we can look that up. But you need to, what they have on the site, my Facebook group, comparisons. Go on eBay. go to other Poshmark, search that item through Poshmark or maybe some other apps that are out there. I'm really only familiar with Poshmark. They're the only one I really like. And see what are other people selling this item for, or what are other people offering this item for. There was a situation where this girl was selling a factory Coach bag, which was really nice. It was a very pretty pattern. But this particular item was probably about 3 or 4 years old, and she was selling it for $250. That's not going to sell. Number one, Coach right now is not hot. I can't move my Coach stuff at all. Number two, the colors and the patterns were they were very, very loud and maybe not to everyone's taste. But retail, it costs $298. You're not going to get $250 for something. You're just not going to be able to move that item. So you have to know what people are going to be willing to buy. And something that's changed over the last several years, which I think is pretty good, is they have this option now called making an offer. So before, you have a set price. And within the comment section, you would kind of haggle back and forth with someone. And that's okay, I think, if you make a sale. But if you don't make a sale, then everyone who looks at this item and reads the comments, because you can't delete the comments, they see, oh, well, you were willing to get rid of this item for this much for that person, so I want to buy it for that much. And you kind of got stuck doing that, whether or not you wanted to, if that makes sense. So they have something called make an offer. Someone can make an offer on your item, and you can accept it, you can counter it, or you could just flat deny it. To me, I think that it is rude to offer someone anything under like a 20% less. So, let's say I'm selling something for $20. I think it's acceptable to offer $15. I don't think it's acceptable to offer $5, which is what a lot of people do. That's when I just hit decline and I won't even entertain any offers, because I think that's rude. So something else that I know a lot of poshers do, and I don't, again, this goes back to like time. A lot of poshers, especially if it's their full-time, part-time gig, they will package the items really nicely, put stickers, they will send thank you notes, which I appreciate. I think that's really, really nice. But that is not me. That's not me. If I don't have any USPS boxes in the house, I'm going to give you a recycled box. I save all of my Amazon boxes. I'm going to give you a recycled box. I'm going to give you recycled packing material. I might give you some colored tissue paper or something. I mean, I'm always going to make sure somebody's item is packed securely, that it's going to survive its trip. But I'm not the thank you note person. I'm trying to get your package out to you as quick as I can, and the thank you note, I don't even give thank you notes to people that I know, because I'm just not good at that. So, I don't do it. I know it's something that Posh likes. I one time got a feedback from someone that, I kind of messed up in what I had sent. I sold my diaper bag, and there was some socks. I thought that I checked the bag thoroughly. There were some socks in there. So, okay, she was kind of upset about that. That's fine. And she's like, there was no thank you note, which is a Posh standard. I was like, are you serious? I was like, this is not my job. You got your item. You can be upset about the other stuff. That's fine. But to not be upset for not getting a thank you note, I was like, you're obviously having a baby, so you'll see. Talk to me in a couple months if you have time to write a thank you note to anyone for anything. So that's not me. And as somebody, I seldom buy from Poshmark, but when I do, I'm not going to accept a thank you note. Like, it's going to be nice if you get one, but I don't expect it. I expect my item to come as it was described, as it was pictured. I expect you to have wrapped everything so nothing gets crushed. And that's really all I'm looking for. And as a seller, that's what I do. And it's been fairly successful so far. Right now, they have started this brand new program. There used to be suggested users, and I was a suggested user, which means when people log on to the app, your face pops up, your closet pops up, hey, check out this person because they are like a reputable Posher. So right now I'm trying to get, they've changed it to Posh Ambassador, and there's a bunch of things you had to do. I have a certain amount of sales, a certain amount of followers, certain criteria as far as, feedback and ship time and all that stuff. So I have all that except for one thing. I need to share 5,000 things from other people's closets. So you can share things from your closet to make other people look at them. You can share things from other people's closets so all of your followers see your suggestions. So I have 3,700 shared items, so I have 1,300 left to go. So I'm trying to go through and maybe do about 50 or 60 a day. Again, time is of the essence here. Sometimes I just want to go to sleep, so I go to sleep. So that is something I am working on. The feedback I've been reading is kind of mixed. Some people say, like, I have a ton of new followers, but nobody's buying anything. I don't know. So, we'll see. If I get the Posh Ambassador status and it does something cool for me, I will let you know. Thank you so much for watching. This was longer than I wanted to do, but I thank you for watching. Bye.